my leap of faith, my Mimi. Sometimes you have to stop climbing bit by bit, stop fluttering your wings, and just jump off that cliff. You'll be scared, unsure of your strengths, almost petrified. But when flying is the only option you have, my Mimi, you will learn how to.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
With you? All good. You know, you had come to my event in Dubai in 2015
With
with
Dilwale?
Varun Shahrukh. You had come for
Yeah,
Dilwale.
Dilwale.
That was my event, Filmfare 5.
Oh, where we performed and all.
Yes, that was my
I
event.
remember that.
5 years.
Wow,
So
that's a long time.
Yes, we had completed 5 years then in 2015, and you were on stage with Varun. And we have videos footage.
I remember that. I remember like what I was wearing and everything also.
Yes.
Really, yeah.
Yes. How are you? And all the best for the film. This looks amazing, and another feather to your cap. This is completely a solo. You're flying solo with this film.
Flying solo is it has multiple meanings, but yeah, yes.
I know.
But yes, it's a very, very special project, I would say, and it's very close to my heart. More so because it's the first time that I am leading a film, and it's there's so much that's gone into it. I've lived with Minnie for so long. I know her so well now, and for like 2.5, 3 years, and it's a film that kind of very few opportunities like this come in an actor's career where you get to do so much, in terms of emotions and exploring different, kind of spaces, whether it is comedy, it is anger, it is hurt, it is frustration, it is, and have a graph of a character in one film. That starts with this girl being, someone who has a lot of dreams and she wants to become an actress. She's the kind of girl who talks to Ranveer Singh's poster in her room, and that's the spunky girl who believes that she can fulfill her dreams. Someone who hates kids and ends up becoming a surrogate, and then something like this happens which turns her life upside down, and then what happens to her, how she changes. I just feel like these kind of opportunities really come like once, twice, thrice in your career. It's very difficult to find these, and I'm so glad that I found Mimi, and Mimi found me in a way. And
are you nervous? Are you nervous with this film?
I don't know. I somehow nervousness is not what I'm feeling. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling anxious to know what the audiences feel about the film. I also, I'm just like wishing and praying that the film gets what it deserves, especially because this is my first OTT release, technically straight to OTT, which has not happened. I don't know how it functions and how the audiences react, and how whether the film actually gets the kind of validation that it deserves or it doesn't. So all those are very new aspects. So there's a little bit of like, I don't know what's going to happen. But regardless of the result, there are certain films that are going to be too special to you, and in your head you're like, no matter what happens, this is that special film regardless of the result. So this is one of those.
And this is pre-COVID, right? Just before we were hit by this pandemic, you completed shooting this film.
Yes, I completed. I came back to Mumbai. In 10 days, we went into a lockdown. So it's that time.
And how's the lockdown been for you? Are you good?
I think I can't complain, honestly. Everyone's gone through tough times. Everyone's gone through their lows in this lockdown. It's kind of made us question a lot of things. But I think I can only feel blessed for the basic things like, being healthy, for, having my family around in the lockdown, for having food on my plate, for having my loved ones, my family and my relatives, everyone was safe, for having gone through COVID and still, come out of it strongly, and, not had any like major side effects or anything. Of having completed 3 films in the pandemic, which for me, I feel like I can only feel blessed in this time.
Yeah. Okay, you've also played small town girl roles
Yeah,
in the past.
yeah.
And what was unusual about this role to get into the skin of the character? Because I believe that you walked around with a 5 kg uh, prosthesis on your tummy because 3 kilos wasn't enough. So tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, 5 kilos of the belly on top of the 15 kilos that I had put on
Put on.
for the film. So it became 20 overall. um, yeah, I think what is different about this film, firstly, I feel like we have so many flavors in our country that, every 10 kilometers, the dialect and the way people are, the way they dress, everything kind of changes a little bit.
Yeah.
And she is someone who's Rajasthani. She's in Mandava. It's a story of a girl who stays in Mandava. So there's a bit of Rajasthani dialect, which I've never done before,
Hmm.
which is unique, and it kind of takes me away from all the small town films that I've done before. And of course, the subject that it kind of deals with, surrogacy, which is a big backdrop, and it's unique because it's not been really done much here. Um, and what the character's journey and what she goes through, plus um, obviously putting on the 15 kilos, I do feel and look like a different person, and that was a point. Lakshman sir was very clear that in the pregnancy bit, like beyond like 4 months or something, 5 months,
Yeah.
I want you to look pregnant in a close-up shot, and I want people to see like just your face and know that you're pregnant. And that's when people are going to connect with this character and realize that okay, she used to look like this, she used to be like this, she was this fit, pretty girl who was the best dancer in Mandava, who could have probably become an actress if she had the opportunity. And this is what she turned into, and this is what happened with her, and what she's gone through. I think that's physically also equally visible. So that was a bit of a challenge. Also, something I never thought in my life I would willingly put on, 15 kilos. I've always been skinny. I have, touchwood, been blessed with good metabolism. I have been that girl who eats everything, and people are like looking at her and cursing her because she's not putting on weight and she's having burgers. So I've been that girl, and I've been like very like flaunting that thing around. But here I was like, suddenly, how do I gain weight when I already eat everything?
Yeah.
Normally, people like start having unhealthy food and they put on weight.
Yeah.
And I'm already having unhealthy food. So my dietitian basically kind of put me on a diet where I had to increase my appetite slowly, where I had to eat more quantity and more number of calories in every meal, have more number of meals. That means that even after your stomach is full, and you're done with your meal, you still keep eating because you have to slowly push yourself and increase your appetite. So that was very hard because you feel stuffy, you feel like pukish. You're having dessert sweets after every main meal, which is like at least thrice a day. And by the end of it, when you're having fried, cheesy, all these heavy food, you crave for khichdi, but you can't have it. Even if they give you khichdi, she used to give me with like 2 spoons of ghee on it. So even when I was like having water, she's like, just put something in it, like add some calories in that also. So yeah, for first 7 days, I was having a blast, and then I kind of realized I don't want to see food anymore, and I was not allowed to work out. I was not allowed to even do yoga because she was like, you will burn some calories no matter what form of workout you do. And I'm struggling how to give you calories. If you're going to burn them, it's going to be a task. So eventually, after like 3 months of not working out, having these 15 kilos on me where my body is not used to it, my joints had started clicking. I remember when I was sitting on the floor, for some scenes, and then I would get up, it would take a little bit of an effort, which was not normal for me. And it was almost scary. It felt like I was torturing my body, which I was in a way. And then I had these running scenes, if you've seen the trailer, when I'm running with that 5 kg belly, with the 15 kgs on me, where I have not done any form of workout for two.
And you're running, yeah.
And I'm running in chappals on normal roads. So it was like very taxing. I remember having knee pain after that. And that 5 kg belly was supposed to basically, it's like suspenders, right? So it's a corset that you wear, and
Okay.
it's suspended from your shoulders so that it doesn't
Okay.
go down.
It'll add weight here as well.
Yeah, so it's the 5 kilos here.
Oh.
So that eventually kind of ends up giving a lot of like back shoulder problem. So it was very funny because whenever I was wearing the belly, I would start panting and I would start getting tired. I would naturally put a hand on my back because it
So it
was
became
kind of,
negate.
yeah. And somebody or the other on the set would be like, "Arey, sit." So like how you tell a pregnant woman that please sit. So that was happening with me on the set. So yeah, all of these things, when you put in all of these small things and you live all of that, I think it kind of becomes more of a passion project. And that's what I think Mimi became for me.
So when you look at pregnant women today, there is
I
something
have
that
too much respect.
okay, you have had a exceptionally you're exceptionally academically you have great academic background.
Yeah.
And then you get into cinema, you get into Bollywood, you get into this space. Was there any time that you had to dumb down?
That I felt like I needed to go back to it.
No, needed to dumb down.
As in, I didn't get it.
As in anything in a role that has come to you, because does it matter? Does it matter that because you are exceptionally intelligent and brilliant in your academics?
Oh, like that.
Yes.
Dumb down. Oh, I didn't hear you properly. I mean, no, I would not say that. I feel like there are certain characters and certain genres which are not very you. As a person. Like I felt like some scenes in Houseful were not me as a person. I don't behave like that. I don't talk like that. But the situation is like that. The genre is like that. That you have to play that girl. That's not you. And that girl could be like less intelligent, probably. I don't know. But yeah, there are sometimes it depends on the character. I mean, it's not dumbing down, but Mimi doesn't know about surrogacy. So for me, I have to act like, oh, I don't know. Oh, wow, this happens. Oh, it can happen like that. How is it possible? So those things, but yeah, there are some characters that are at times I won't name, but not at times not very intelligently written as characters. But that's also because the genre is like that. It's about something else. It's not about being, brainy.
Okay. You also mentioned that you're very aam janta in your choice of cinema. That you choose films which as as an audience you would have gone and watched.
Yeah.
And has it helped you, and how?
I don't know. I mean, my choices can also go wrong. That doesn't mean I feel like watching films is such a personal, opinion. Like you might not like a film, I might like the same film. So it depends. Yeah, it has. I think the fact that it's two different things because when you're an actor, you're sort of expected to have watched all like world cinema and all these Oscar-winning films and all of that, and have knowledge of Tarantino films and all these kind of really intellectual, supposed to be the best films in the world and cult movies. I have grown up watching Hindi films. I used to go with my family and friends. I think I started watching English movies only when I came to Mumbai and decided that I wanted to become an actor. So before that, I think my whole knowledge, my whole love has been for Hindi film and Bollywood movies, and I've been that person. So when I'm hearing a script, I am that Bollywood janta. I'm not comparing. I'm not comparing it to, but it's not like that film in Hollywood. What are we making? It doesn't happen to me. For me, yes, I do look for content because that's what I look for when I'm going for, when I'm going to watch a film. There are certain kind of out and out formula commercial films that we say, which I don't like watching. So sometimes I don't connect to it. So I think, yeah, I mean, you should never do a film that you would not want to watch.
What are your 5 favorite films from the Bollywood films that you watched? And
oh God, that's very tough to.
Yeah, look at the ones which are recent to back. We don't want to go very much.
So many. I loved Andhadhun. Loved Andhadhun. I really liked Queen. I loved Jab We Met.
Hmm.
I loved Three Idiots. I loved what was this film? Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam. It's not recent, but it's just coming to my head because I'm thinking of movies. What else? I mean, I liked Article 15 also. It's not my favorite film, but I like that genre also. So, recent में और क्या है? I like Ludo. It's quirky. I loved it. I loved Good News. So these are the few like recent films that are also coming to my mind when I'm thinking of the films that I love.
Okay. Any women characters in cinema that you've admired? I'm talking about characters in cinema. Like you said, Queen, you mentioned the name of
I loved that character.
Yeah. So the characters that you have stayed with you.
Queen, of course, has stayed with me. Jab We Met's Geet, I think, has stayed with every girl. You know, उसके बाद एक वो flavor शुरू हुआ था, bubbly, spunky girl का एक flavor.
There can be only one Geet.
चालू हुआ था, but nothing.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say that. I liked. I mean, I think Kashi Bai's character in Bajirao Mastani actually really stayed with me.
Yeah.
Then even I think if I see PC's work, probably even fashion when she had done.
Yeah.
That, you know, I love when the characters are flawed. I love when the characters have a graph and a journey. You know, it starts.
They're not perfect.
They're not perfect. It starts somewhere else. It goes somewhere else. You know, in Urta Punjab, Alia's character, those characters are like characters. You know, like you remember, or hers even like Gully Boy. That's a character. Yeah. And so well written. So I think when you remember characters more when they're really well written. You know, when they are unique, they're not just what we call a girl next door.
Yeah.
That's when
it doesn't matter about the length of the role. If the character is memorable, it stays.
It doesn't matter. Even in 3 Idiots, Bebo's character was like what? It was. I mean, it was lengthwise not so long, but the impact is what matters.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, scripts being written with women being central, which is happening, which is a happy change, and the OTT as a platform has also helped, project and publicize a lot of good content happening.
Yeah.
And women centric. It's very wrong to even call it women centered.
Because we never say male centric.
Yeah, we never say male centered.
Female led is fine, actually.
Yeah, female led, central to the role.
Yeah.
And this happy change is happening also because of the fact that stories are being told from different perspectives, not just one male perspective. And also filmmakers who are women. I mean, there is a difference, but I don't want to call them women filmmakers. It's all politically loaded. You don't even know which word to use when. Yeah. So how different is it to work with a director who's very sensitive to this aspect of projecting a woman correctly?
So you're not talking about a woman director. You're talking.
No, it can be anybody.
Yeah, because, for example,
I don't want to make
Ashutosh Gowariker, if you see all his films, his women are very, very strong.
Yeah.
And if he gave me a strong woman, a female character in a film which is very testosterone driven, like Panipat.
Yeah.
A war film. I don't know. Like when you hear Panipat, you're like, oh, is there a girl in it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. But the way he writes his characters are very, very, because he himself has that thinking and that mindset of, women being strong. He has strong women in his life. His wife is a very strong personality.
Yeah.
She's such a strong influence also in his life. And I think it kind of comes from there.
Yeah.
Whether you see, obviously Ashwini, I have worked with Ashwini Iyer Tiwari, Bareli Ki Barfi. I think the way she saw Bitti was very liberal, and very
not confined.
Not confined, not put in a box. There were things about her, like she would, she had that target of marrying someone who would want to marry her, which is such an old thing. But that's where she came from. But she was still the girl who would be like, okay, I'm not a virgin, so what? Are you a virgin? I think,
And it's
she
a very
didn't
natural
question her.
question, and it doesn't come from any space. It's a very natural
Yeah, yeah. So,
process of thought.
so Lakshman sir, for that matter, I feel like I think the way, the sensitivity that he has, and he always tells me, आपको ना ऐसे ही रोल करने चाहिए. आपको ना थोड़ा, you need to like value yourself and like do such like amazing roles. You're so good in it and all. Like he has that thing that, I don't want to see you do something which is not worth your time. So he has that mindset. The way he sees Mimi, she has her flaws, she has her spunk, she's real, and that's how he sees it. So I think today, yeah, a lot of directors are having that mindset of strong women because they're also surrounded with many, and they
We had
want,
Piku. We had an example of Piku.
yeah,
We had so many films which have centered themselves around women characters, where men are equally important, but the film anchors on and is the name of a girl, which is the name of the film, which is interesting, right?
yeah. So it's good that these changes are very, very good, which I think must happen, and they're happening slowly. But I think the moment these films start working really well, more and more directors will be. It's like a circle. More and more directors will be willing to put in that money.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's a business. Eventually, it is about getting the money back.
Yeah.
And when these films, I think when women also start choosing certain roles and deciding not to do certain things, and there will be opening of more and more opportunities. And when those films start doing well, there will be more and more films like that.
Right. Also, it's somewhere apart from the fact that it's a very commercial business, actresses also do have today very, very happily you can see that is that there is a certain responsibility of playing a certain role, that you would not go back to a stereotype. Even if you do it, there is a challenging of a certain order that you are always working on. And it's a great change to see.
Yeah.
Even if it's a traditional role, there is a spurt of, rebellion, or there is a certain re-looking at.
See, I don't completely believe that it should be only that, because I feel that somewhere cinema also depicts a reality. It depicts how women are. So if you're showing, a woman in a much smaller town who is still not opened up in her head, is not so liberal minded, but that's your character. But as long as you show that this is not how it should be, but she is like that, so those are also like, I would call flawed characters, not real characters. She might not be strong headed, but eventually there's something that the film gives to her. So I feel like, it depends on the character. You can play a naive semi ladki also, though I don't find it fun personally because I don't connect with that. But are there girls like that? Yes.
Okay. The film has some beautiful songs. Rihai is something I really loved.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And also the other one, which is, what was it called? The one. No, it's a little soulful.
Hututu.
Hututu, there's another one. Yani Yani, I think will become the baby anthem.
Do you like Rockabye?
It's going to be Yani Yani is going to become now the baby shower anthem. He's going to play it. Yeah. And then there's one more, Chote Se Chiraiya. Oh, that's very beautiful too. Tell me about your poetic side. You write poetry.
Yes, I do.
Why did you, I mean, was it because of that interest that you liked the songs that you just mentioned, or the poetically very strong?
I'm a lyrics person. I love lyrics, but I'm also a music person. I like melody, so I feel like it has to be always a combination. I started writing poetry when I was in college. No, actually, when I was in school, like the end of school, that's when I started writing poetry. And I used to write very on and off. I'm not someone who writes very regularly. It just has to be a moment where it comes to me and I just write. And I think when I came to Mumbai, I kind of lost touch with it because maybe I had a different medium of expressing now, which was acting. So I think all my emotions, all my thoughts were going there. And I think lockdown gave me that time again to get back in touch with poetry and write a little more.
Did you write anything about your character, Mimi?
So
Or
I
did you
wrote
try?
something little actually recently, which it will be out at some point, but I might actually read it out to you.
Oh, lovely.
I haven't said this anywhere.
Oh, thank you so much. This will be lovely to hear you.
So there's a thing which I wrote in Hindi also and in English also, but I'll read the English one out because eventually I think I'll put out in Hindi.
Yeah.
This is something that I just feel, and I think I relate to Mimi in all these things, and I think this is what I wanted to tell Mimi.
Okay.
Point.
You wanted to tell Mimi. Okay.
Yeah. So it is my leap of faith, my Mimi.
Wow.
Sometimes you have to stop climbing bit by bit. Stop fluttering your wings and just jump off that cliff. You'll be scared, unsure of your strengths, almost petrified. But when flying is the only option you have, my Mimi, you will learn how to fly.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
I just feel that, she is also someone who dreams, and she takes a leap of faith. It turns around differently for her, but it's that taking a risk sometimes, not we sometimes know where we want to be, and we kind of keep climbing, but there are times when you just have to let go of that fear and just take a leap of faith, take a risk, and when you feel like that's the only option that you have now, and you've jumped and this is what you have to do, it's do or die, you usually do it. So you learn how to fly in that process.
Beautiful. I am reminded of a very interesting African-American poetess called Claire Harris, who did a very beautiful poem on a pregnant woman. And she wrote it. It was, the way it was written was like the belly of Mimi. Like it had.
Like that.
Yes, I thought I'll tell you that because I saw it and I immediately, because poetry, you're talking about pregnancy, and then suddenly it just struck. I'll send you the poem if I can find it. But yes, about your other roles as well, the fact that you've chosen to do a lot of interesting roles, which are, somewhere because you choose to do a role like this, other roles like these also are written or come to you, which push the envelope in a little bit, in the progressive way. So tell me about your the future films that you're going to be doing, and a little bit, if you can, talk about each role.
Wow, that's a lot. So after Mimi, the next one is Hum Do Hamare Do, which is with Rajkumar Rao. There's Paresh Rawal sir and Ratna Pathak ma'am, and that is a family film, I would say. It's got a subject of adopting parents. Here I am becoming a surrogate, they were adopting parents.
Oh, okay.
So that's a very different concept. It's just something which will bind any family, and a family would love to watch together. It's got a beautiful family feeling, I would say. The next is Bachchan Pandey with Akshay sir, which is very, very different, very unique plot. I play an AD who wants to be a director, and eventually, and obviously you've seen the look of Akshay Kumar as Bachchan Pandey, which is very, very different from what he's ever looked. So my equation with him is also very unique, unexpected, and it's that one film that has, that is a complete package, I would say. It's got a good story, it's got twists and turns, it's got action, it's got comedy, it's got romance, it's got like everything. And it's got a great role for me, and I kind of got very excited when I got to know that. Then there is Bhedia, which is with Varun, which is my first horror comedy. I have never done this genre before, and it's very, very interesting. It's a very funny script, and it's unique because this zone of a werewolf, a monster comedy, has not been done here before.
Yeah.
And my look in that is very interesting, which I can't say what, but it's something that I've never looked like that before. It'll be a bit of a oh like that.
Okay.
And of course, I'm working with Varun after like about 6 years or so.
Yes.
And we have a different energy. I mean, we are also friends, like off screen, in life. So I think that chemistry, that fun, and that comfort kind of comes across, when we work together.
Yeah.
And I've had a blast
Yeah.
shooting with the director Amar. He's I've loved both his films, Three and Bala, and I think he has some great energy on set.
Yeah.
Then there is Adipurush, which I am still shooting. It is with Prabhas and Seth. And I've shot one schedule with Prabhas, then I shot one schedule right now, about 10-15 days with Seth. And that is like a very different experience because the filmmaking process is very different because they're creating this world which is larger than life, and we're shooting on like chroma, and it's a very different kind of an experience. There's a lot for actors to learn because it's not, you don't get your normal ambience, you don't get your normal, there are things that you have to kind of imagine that yahan pe ye hai, yahan pe ek waterfall hai, yahan pe, so things like that. And of course, the story that we're trying to depict and the character that I'm playing comes with a lot of responsibility. And Om is amazing. Om Rawat, I think, is brilliant at what he does. His technical knowledge is outstanding, and the way he creates, his vision is like it stays rooted to the ground and to what values we have, but it still kind of shows it in a very interesting, unique manner, and I'm just learning a lot on that set. I'm having a lot of fun. I think Saif and Prabhas both are very, very chilled, and great actors and great in their own respective parts that they're playing. After that, I have Ganpat, which unites me with Tiger after 7 years. I have no idea why we have taken so long to work together. But I'm looking forward to that. It's got a lot of action, and this time I will also be doing the action. So I've kind of started prepping for it. There's going to be a little bit of dirt bike, and there's going to be a lot of other action, which I'm really excited for. I've always felt that I'm like, I have like a tall body frame, and I feel like in action it would really, really be useful.
Yes.
And
What's
so
going to be the last question?
I'm excited for that. It's going to start probably somewhere in October, I'm assuming.
Can you be the last question, Manju?
Yeah, okay. Tell me about your Filmfare Award-winning moment.
Debut.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah, long ago, but tell me about it.
Very, very long. It's been a while I won a Filmfare Award, so
you have 3 films this year. You have 3 films, so there are.
Yeah. But I think Filmfare for me has always been, since childhood, you've been watching these award shows, and that black lady is something that the moment you know that you want to become an actor, you know that you want that black lady in your hands and in your house. And I remember it was like a dream come true when I won for my debut, and I didn't even realize the weight of the trophy till I actually got it. I held it and I was like, my God, this is heavy. But yeah, those are a few moments that you never forget in your life, So Filmfare Award for Best Debut is something that still sits like very ahead in my shelf. And yeah, it's time to kind of maybe get another one soon.
Lovely. All the best, and we'll all watch the film and we'll review it. And I'm sure it'll be a great watch with the kind of star cast with you, Pankaj Tripathi, with Supriya Pathak. There's so many elements to the film that we'll watch. And all the best to you. And thanks for speaking to me. And see you in Dubai soon.
See you soon. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.